What's up? We're going K-Solo tonight. So whoever's watching, you're going to get some off the cuff, right?
Yeah.
Raw, authentic. We don't know what we're going to talk about. We're probably going to talk about some off the wall shit, some main topics, what's going on probably in this this market, interest rates maybe.
Time out, Emilio. Look at me, buddy. Look at you in the right hand. Look at you on the screen. That's so cool. Look at your face up there. Hey, you see up there?
Nice.
That is pretty cool. Yo, Emilio, I want to say something to you. You ready?
Yeah.
You're amazing. I'm going to keep it real. You're a blessing in my life. You know how this show's real? I'm going to make a confession right away. Is that cool?
Sure.
I'm going to make a confession. It's 7:35, 10 minutes ago. If the world saw my hair and saw where I was, they wouldn't believe I'm talking to you right now. Let's just say I've made a quick recovery. Is that fair? Is that fair? You know?
You care to share with our Facebook friends and followers what took you so long, pal?
I'm going to be, let's just say number 2 got the best of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not ashamed to say it. I said it. All right. I'm here, America, because you know why? I love all my viewers.
So you had a blow
to celebrate you. And before you and I go off the cuff tonight, because we always do that, I'm going to ask you questions. You're going to ask me questions. You're going to talk about how great this hair is, all that stuff. How about we celebrate our sponsor real quick? Is that cool?
I'm ready.
I want to celebrate our sponsor. I want to celebrate a company that I have a fond affection. Fond affection. Is that even a thing? I don't even know. But I'm fondly affectionate towards them. There you go. I used to work there. I was a partner back in the 90s, and you know what? They're a pretty big deal, as Emilio would say. I like when Emilio says,
"Were you part of their mail review?"
Well, you call me a Chippendale. Listen, let's not go there. I wasn't. The sad thing is I applied for a job and they said I didn't cut it. All right, let's move on. It's a bad topic, okay? But thanks for asking, Emilio.
Where'd you go to pros after that?
What was that?
They won't let you get a job there, so you went to the pros to DJ and party?
Dude, let me just tell you. You don't even know what you just said to me. You just basically kicked me in the shenanigans there. All right? Let me go back to our sponsor, all right? Let me go back. Because the pros, that's a good story too. We're talking cutting edge entertainment. Yes. Cutting edge entertainment since 1992. They're celebrating 30 years this year. It's a pretty big deal. 30 years, cutting edge entertainment. The owner is Craig Sumsky. He's a friend of mine, and they do a great job. They do weddings. They do all. Thank you, John. They do all types of, and we owe John. We're going to come with a confession on that. Stay with us, John. We owe you a confession. We're coming back with that in a second. 30 years in the business, doing weddings. They do bar and bat mitzvahs, and they're amazing. 215-938-7950. They're our first sponsor.
We got any art? We got any art or literature on them?
Jason, if it's possible, cuttingedgedjs.com. If you can bring up the website, because Emilio is the man, always thinking. But yeah, cuttingedgedjs.com. Jay, if you could find that information, bring that up, that would be awesome. But once again, they are our official sponsor. They're in Huntington Valley, PA, 215-938-7950. Thank you, Cutting Edge Entertainment, for all you do for the community. Weddings, all types of weddings. They do lights. They're just awesome. They do everything. Bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs.
I'm actually going to throw that artwork up and throw their logo up probably toward the end of the show, because I just saw like a really cool one, and I know I got to go back to find it, and I don't want to.
Okay.
I want to cost you.
We'll just move on to something else.
I'll get that up. I'll get it to Jason. He'll get that up at the end, because they got a really cool logo. I don't know if you've seen it with the saw blade. It's really neat.
Yeah, there are. Jay, bring
And,
that up again. Whatever. Jay, bring something up, anything up if you can. If you
well,
don't,
no, well, I'll hit them with the good stuff for later. Oh,
there you go.
You see that? If you look at their logo, it's a saw blade cutting.
That's pretty cool, man. They're badass.
Cool, right?
30 years, man. That's a big deal, isn't that? 30 years.
If you're that dedicated and still in business, and actually, if you're doing anything, even if you're with somebody for 30 years, that's one hell of an accomplishment, right?
Time out. Oh my God, John Duffin, you're the man. So let's just start off right now before we start. Let's start off because this tonight we're not having any direction. We're not doing a normal direction. We're just going to shoot the schnizzle. Is that even a word? The schnizzle. It's a record player. Oh my God.
We should instead of when we have a guest on, it should be the Be Kind show, right? And when we don't have it, when we just it's just me and you shooting the shit. It should be the Be High show.
The Beehive show, like
no, like the Beehive, like you know what I mean. Like we should like sample like all of like the dispensaries like marijuana products, right? We should rate them on the Beehive show, like in between.
The Beehive show. All right. Well, I'm like, I mean, I don't want to get political, but I'm like Bill Clinton. I've never inhaled, so whatever.
Why? It's legal, isn't it?
No, it is. You're sweating your mind.
God has blessed us.
All right, Emilio, you crazy faux hawk. Do me a favor, Jason. Bring up John Duffin's comment because we're going right into it. Bring up John Duffin's comment. Read that one out loud, Emilio. All right, I want you to handle that. Emilio, handle that. And then we're going to talk back and forth tonight and see where this show ends. So, what do you got to say to that?
So one of the things I was going to talk about on the show today is accountability and what I think accountability means. So I'm going to take no accountability for the situation at hand right now, which is us standing John Duffin up, which is ridiculous, especially when it was going to be a wonderful treat to our, the food there is incredible. So what did we do? I was gung ho about it, but I'm not going to lie, Chad. I think that Chad, John, are you paying attention? I think that Chad ruined this, and he should be saying he's sorry and that he will cash in his crypto and he will pay you back $79,999 of that money.
John, I apologize. If I'm going to tell you why I apologize, because time not spent with you is a bad time.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Have with John Duffin, I'm excited too. So how about we be positive here, Emilio? And why don't we do a recheck-in, or you're gonna have to pay us $79,000. So Emilio, for John, people, would you give us a chance to redo this?
So hold on, people have to know what we're talking about. So we've been planning to go to the 4th Street Famous Deli downtown at 4th and Banbridge for like a month, and we actually. We actually asked John Duffin to be our guest for lunch, and we dropped the ball. A couple times we communicated, and then we actually made new plans. And then the one day we just decided to never show up. And John has been patiently waiting for the last 10 days, racking up a bill, probably eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and some snacks in between.
Deserves every meal. He deserves every meal.
Deserves every meal, and that's why it's Chad's fault.
It's my fault, John. I love you. Can we reschedule? I'm being serious. And Emilio, John's a badass. He really is.
I mean, listen, he could, I'd like to pick his brain a little bit. I'd like to get some ideas off of him. Like I said, we got good people on our team here. And you have Jason, who's a great producer, and he has great ideas. And I think that, we have to work together with these guys. I'd like to hear John and see what he says and see what maybe we could make things better sometimes, They got experience.
And Jason, if you're listening, if you want to come on, I'd love that. If you are around and would like to come on, I'd like to introduce you. Just why not? Because you're awesome. Make it better marketing. And we're going off the cuff tonight, which means we have no agenda. Less than normal. Is that possible to have less than normal?
It's okay. I'm in kid. My kids is running up and down like, is it dinner time? Is it dinner?
You got kids,
my man. Oh my gosh, you don't know I got kids. I got 3 of them. I got 2 boys.
Holy messing with you. We were just this is how
we were just talking about this.
So this is how shit gets when you get older. So
I thought this might be the Be High show tonight. So
probably is the Be High show. All right. So now listen.
I don't even know what he's talking about.
Listen. So right before we went on,
say hi to Rosemary.
Rosemary.
Hi, Rosemary.
Continue. I'm so sorry. I'm
Right,
crazy.
right before we got on the show and started going live, two fathers were having an intimate conversation about air fryers and how fucking awesome they are. Like, you know what I mean? Like some of the best shit you could ever. It does everything better than oil. The craziest shit ever.
Without just one button.
Yeah, you could put a sock in an air fryer and it'll come out nice and crispy. You'll eat it.
Wait, time out. I'm going right. This is great. You ready? First of all, Jason, Make It Better Marketing is the bizzle and the rizzle is the shizzle. I said it all of the above. He's the man.
Well, I mean, a lot of realtors tune into this, and a lot of people in business who provide service and product, and because we accentuate, like, pointing in that direction. I mean, you should tell people what you do. I mean, realistically, I mean, you even go that as far as doing mailers, right? Postcards and shit.
Yeah, I do all facets of marketing, from the ground foundation to the top of branding is what we do here.
Yeah.
So.
Any kind of like he whipped together my intro in like 10 minutes one day. We, instead of it just being the Be Kind intro, to do, he scratched it. I didn't even say what song I want. I just said, put some rock music in there, and boom, 10 minutes later, we have a perfect intro to the Be Kind show. I mean, I don't even think I've mentioned it to even try to do anything different. Like we ran with it, me and
well, I don't want to give anything away, but let's just say we have some new stuff coming up soon. We're not going to say when, but there's some cool stuff coming up. All right. So Jason, just for why not? At some point, put your number on there, please, because I love it. Make It Better Marketing, pop the number on there. All right, here we go. I want an air frying story from each one of you. So, Emilio, give me an air frying story, like just because you could do a sock. You said I can't believe where this is going to go. And then tell me the best meal you put together in the air fryer. Is that cool?
So yeah. So my wife's a great cook, right? And she
Jen, you are a great cook.
She cooks like, all over the board, like, not just Italian food and shit like that. Like she goes all around the spectrum with it. Right. So, but there's certain things like that my whole life, I grew up watching somebody, put oil in a pan, put that shit on hot and fry things. Right. And some of the best, some of the things that in my mind needed to be fried were like chicken cutlets and meatballs and all this other bullshit. Right. Because if you don't fry a meatball, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like that's like a violation.
Linda,
I come in, right, one day from work. I'm starving. We're in the car business. I'm at the auction all day. I'm driving all over the place, tired. I come in and I'm like, man, that smells good, right? And she's like, oh, I'm frying up some meatballs for meatball sandwiches and shit, right? And I like even eating the fried meatballs before they go in the sauce. They're the bomb. So I come in, right, and I'm like, you're making meatballs. I'm like, where they at? And there's nothing on the stove. There's not, there's a pot of sauce, but there's no oil, no frying pan, nothing. So I'm like, listen, right off the bat, because I'm, I get to critique everything. I'm like, listen, you're not baking that shit, are you? And she's like, no, I'm frying them. Relax. They're gonna be great. So she tells me they're in the air fryer. So I'm me right away. I'm like, the fuck is an air fryer? You know what I mean? I don't even know what this is.
I'm saying the same thing.
I don't even know what this shit is, right? So she's like, and I'm snapping. I'm like, listen, I don't want to eat this shit. I told you, you got to fry them. That's the way we do it. You're reinventing the wheel. You got to get off of Home Goods and QVC, all this bullshit. We're in a major argument. She's like, I'm not cooking you dinner no more, blah, 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 blah. So she gets all the shit her and my son eat, right? I'm upstairs.
Emilio, can I just say something? You have a lot of issues over meals, by the way. Continue.
Well, because you know what I mean?
You're
like
so
I'm
goddamn passionate. I love you.
So now, we get in this big fight. She's like, you're not getting, fuck it. I'm eating. He's eating. I go upstairs. I'm aggravated because I'm not eating no air fryer meatball. Like I'm thinking to myself, there's no way I'm eating this bullshit.
Don't even call her alive, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, And she's like, talk to me like this and nothing's good enough. The whole husband and wife fight goes down. So I'm upstairs like 9:30. My son's got school the next day. She's in bed. She's in the other room in bed. Like we're not even in the same bed over these meatballs, right? My son's in his room sleeping. I'm dying, fucking starving, right? So I walk downstairs, and she had some fried meatballs, and she had the meatballs in the sauce. So I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm hungry. I'm going to eat. I eat these meatballs, dude, off the rocking chair. I mean, juicy, fried, beautiful. Like probably better than the oil, right? And I'm like, holy shit, dude. Now the next morning, I'm like, I'm in the no-fly zone. She's not talking to me. You know, she goes to work. I'm trying to text her. You know, I'm trying to apologize. You know, it's a big thing over these meatballs because I didn't believe that you could fry a meatball in an air fryer, but you can fry. Dude, she does crazy shit. She'll put broccoli in there, or cauliflower, and air fry them so they're crispy. They're delicious.
All right, can I just say something right now? If Jen's putting it together in the air fryer, I'm all about being there to put it in my tummy.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. I mean, that's you know, we had a war over the air fryer, and I was wrong. And now, you know, I don't mind like if she puts anything in there because it crushes it. Excuse me, it really does. Like, I just remember like being down the shore. There was this cheesesteak joint called Dino's in Margate. It's still there. You know, it's famous for their cheesesteaks and their. You know about this. You're a Margate guy.
I love it.
All right, so you know. All right, so and everybody watching this probably knows about Dino's. So they never had French fries, right? So I walk in there one day and I see somebody eating French fries. So I'm thinking to myself, all right, you know, I'll get some French fries. I get these French fries, and me and my cousin are eating, and we're like, holy shit! Like every one of them was beautifully cooked, snap, crunchy, like delicious.
Look at this passion behind a French fry. I'm serious.
I'm like, God damn! I'm like. What a French fry, right? So I know the guys in there. I walk up to the guy in the back, and I'm like, "What'd you guys get? Brand new fryers in here? You're frying?" He goes, "No." He goes, "That's an air fryer," and he shows me this big silver box, right? It was like a commercial industrial air fryer, and he's like, "You know, we're doing everything in this air fryer. We don't need to put a gas lines in here. It's electric air fryer, outstanding." But then it wasn't until a few years later that. They came to like a residential, like, retail stores and shit like that. Like they modified them into these little, black and then gray, like, plastic air fryers. And you can do a lot of shit with them. I'll tell you that.
Well, you know what? So basically that's a hell of a story. What's up, my brother, Craig? That's my older brother. Well, my oldest brother, not saying, because I'm the baby. I get all the attention. I don't think Jason's going to be telling a story. Jason, you going to tell a story on the?
He had to go breastfeed his kids.
Listen, I told you I had to feed kids. You know, this is the kid.
Dude, you're back. Wait.
He went breastfed
on the spot now. Hold on, he's on the spot. Let me.
He went and breastfed him real quick.
This is my favorite, Jason.
My air fryer story would be what I'm doing right now. I'm making some lemon pepper wings. I'm making a couple of flavor wings. I'm doing some. What's that flavor? The stuff that they put.
Old Bay?
No, peyote. Like the stuff that they put on.
Peyote. I smoked that once. Peyote. I was tripping balls for like 6 days.
Security.
It's the stuff that they put on corn. Mexican
Adobe
corn. No, it has like.
Adobe?
It has cumin in it, cheese, something else, couple.
Yeah, that's Aztec.
No, by the way, John.
That's Aztec. That's a Mayan recipe Jay's using there. Some Aztec shit.
Wait, hold on. Here go your piece.
What's up, Avi? It's my boy Avi.
That's right. My brother's coming in town. I love it.
He said today, Renee.
Yeah, Renee, you have any idea of this? You know what, Renee? I have a question for you. Renee, I have a question for you, and thank you for being. Renee's amazing. All right. This show's going crazy. All right. Renee, do you use an air fryer? And if you do, can you put a comment below and tell us about your favorite dish? Or just say no go. I mean, anything goes today. I'm having so much fun.
Do you have an air fryer?
What?
You have an air fryer?
Dude, you're going to... Yeah, I do, and it's in the box. Do we have to go here? Live on TV? Yeah, I have an air fryer. It's in a box.
Dude, you need to plug that shit in right now and tell your wife to go get something and put it in there.
I might put a sock in there based on your recommendation.
I'm telling you, I'm telling
sock, you. Salt, some pepper, some curry.
The air fryer. Listen, the air fryer is no joke. This is the kind of shit you talk about when you're 45 years old and getting older. Like, we don't have any cool stories anymore.
We don't got no stories. We got feeding kids stories.
We got kids, feeding kids, apologizing to our wives.
Yes,
You
absolutely.
know what I mean? Trying to get business by by promoting ourselves and shit and other people. I mean, that's what
ask me what the hell I do. Ask me what I do. I want to go crazy. What do I do? Ask me what I do.
I don't know. I did your job better than you did, I think, with all my numbers and shit, huh?
Oh my God. So Is that was that a question or what's going on?
I mean, we know you're a lender and you're a mortgage broker and you know all that bullshit.
Can you tell them about me a little bit because you're better at that than me. Look at all these people talking. This is
indoor barbecue. Look, I think everybody loves when we talk about food, or like I said, it's the eating out.
All right, listen. This is how good an air fryer is, right? The interest rates are high as shit right now. Okay, we got problems with that shit, right? It might give people a chance. It might give some people a chance to actually, get into a house finally. But if you put these 4.75% interest rates in an air fryer, you can eat that shit. They're delicious.
Hold on. Thank you, Linda. Linda told me I make miracles happen. I love you. I love you, Linda. Linda, do you use an air fryer? Let me tell you, Linda's a fantastic cook, and she got me. Let's be honest. She stuffed me up on chocolate, a lot of chocolate one night. That's another story. She had delicious chocolate, but she's a great cook. And Linda, do you use an air fryer? Because if you do, I was curious. I don't know if you do. Let us know. I am now personally going to make sure the box with the air fryer gets open. I'm not going to make my first meal.
You haven't.
No, I know. I've been called out. I know. This has been a big night here. I mean, the world knows that I was having bathroom issues before the show. I mean, I'm just coming clean because that's the way I.
Yeah, that's what it should be. We should come on once a month with three guests a month. One night we do. We shoot the shit about air fryers. We talk about anything we want to talk about. And then we call it the Be High Show.
Be high and sell crypto?
Be high in life.
And rock and hold on. And rock and roll.
Yeah.
What is the
you want to see rock and roll?
Lynn, I'll see you tomorrow, my friend. And she wants to know, what is the best air fryer? Ooh, how about pork chop? My wife's asking me. I would love it. Mindy, are you down for the air fryer?
Yeah, she obviously wants the air fryer.
Linda has one, hasn't done anything great with it. Well, Linda, you've done more with me. You open the box.
Try mushrooms. My wife is a vegan, and we do mushrooms in the air fryer.
I love mushrooms. Now, do you like mushrooms?
Yeah, listen, I just got put onto them because I wasn't really a mushroom guy. I like meat, of course, but
we talking about magic mushrooms?
Well, no, just regular mushrooms.
Emilio
mushrooms. He really wants to start.
I was going to plug my electric guitar in right now when you said rock and roll, and I was going to bring that shit on here.
He really wants it to be the Be High Show tonight.
He's having fun. I don't care. You know what?
Why though? I think we get. You know what I mean? We could get a lot more followers. You know what I mean? And a lot more people in tune if we just go off the cuff every once in a while and we just talk about anything we want to talk about. Like what the fuck do we got to lose?
Jason, do me a favor.
Listen, I built my brand. On being authentic, raw. It's in my on my page. Even though I do a ton of business in Bucks County, you know what I mean? I put the Philly Italian Realtor because my roots and I sowed my oats in Philly. That's where I'm from. Look at that shit.
Cool. I like that.
Move over some. Yeah, move over.
So my whole brand's built on being somewhat of a badass.
Emilio, work with us here. Emilio.
You move over. Yeah, just move over a little bit. There you go.
This is on the spot shit.
Yeah, move over. Stay in the middle.
Am I doing good, Jason? Am I in? Am I doing good?
You're doing great. You're doing great.
How do I look good? Do I look good in yellow, by the way? It's a weird question, but I think it's – what do you think of the yellow? Is it reflecting nice, the yellow? Anyway, anybody?
I think
it looks good. I mean, you look like you combed your hair with a lint brush, but –
I did, by the way. You're such a fan.
Like.
Do me a favor, Jason. Oh, my God.
Be honest.
By the way, Linda's giving you – she's down with the OPP on that. Look at that. Avi likes it. What do you think of Emilio's faux hawk? Wait, time out. Let's all wait. We've got a lot of good hair here. Look at this. I'm going in with this hair. I don't know what you call this little dollop. I have a dollop going on here, all right? You get that at a restaurant. Somehow it's in my head. I've got a dollop, all right? Emilio, your faux hawk, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm jealous of it, and I think it's amazing. I always bust your you-know-what on it, but I would love to be able to pull that off. And then look at with that hair. I mean, you like a hair model.
See, I'm glad I stayed awake for the Be High Show.
By the way, Renee, it was my fault. I said Emilio before the show.
Avi said you need a haircut ASAP.
Oh, my God. Avi's busting your chops on that.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, that's right. Look at that.
He's got good hair.
He does have good hair.
He puts mayonnaise in that.
Put your head. I want my hands through your hair. Is that a little weird?
That's what keeps it like. You see, he puts berries and mayonnaise in there to make sure.
No,
bring up Do me a favor. Bring up Susan's meal with the air fryer. Can you bring that up? Bring it up for real. She had a really good recipe earlier. Susan, I want you to show Emilio because it was pretty badass.
Well, asparagus oil.
Yeah, look at that one.
In the
listen, first of all, Sue, I'm sorry about your father-in-law. I saw it on Facebook. I commented, and then Victor decides to, we've all been friends with Victor for 30 years, and he has my cell phone. He has the key to my house, and he decides to text me on Messenger when the services were, which I never. You guys can vouch for me. I'm never on Messenger. I even had the shit silenced. I only go in there to check to see if people call for business and stuff. So, Sue, I'm sorry about your father-in-law. And the Terrors are one of the best, not only families but cooking families that is probably a viewer on this show. Their food is out of bounds. Like if you're ever invited to their mother's house, and they can cook and all, they've owned restaurants, they've done so much. If you're ever invited to their mom's house, I mean, you've never seen. I don't think you'll ever see a spread like that ever. Like the spread's sick. It's sick. I owe them a lamb, by the way, but they wanted it 2 weeks ago. Easter's coming up. You're gonna get a fresh lamb for Easter. I'm taking the other half, so I didn't feel like having my half sit in the freezer.
Wow. You know what, man? This is awesome.
You know who Sue is, right? Listen, you know who Sue is. Her mom's the one that did the Maloykia on me.
No, I'm on the waiting list.
That's right. You're on the waiting list.
What do you think?
Who's gray? His or mine? Because since I had these,
you got gray too.
Mine went super gray.
Renee, this is like hair wars. All right. So Renee, you're a great viewer. Renee's been here since the beginning. I want to be honest. I'm a huge Renee fan. I really think she's amazing. She watches every week. She watches we're great friends. So Renee, let's just come real. We're on the Pecan show. It's apparently the Beehive show. I don't know what the hell's going on. Emilio was bringing the heat. We're talking about doing the air fryer. We know mine's in the box, apparently. We know that I have a hair and a dollop. Renee, talk about the hair. In your opinion, who is bringing the hair tonight? I mean, I really you could just comment on that. And while you're doing that, Emilio, ask a question. Ask me something or ask Jason something because I just want to go somewhere else because why not?
All right, let's talk a little crypto. Let's talk some crypto. What's going on here? What do you see the outlook right now? I see.
Wait, hold on. This is great. This is me having fun. This is not financial advice. Don't listen to anything I say. I'm not smart.
So I know that something must be going on because you crypto nuts. While I'm day trading and you're playing with the fake currency. I saw that Bitcoin, which is the most popular one, right? Correct. It's the most well-recognized
by market cap. How about that?
Right, and then there's the other ones that are popular like Ethereum and all that bullshit. But I see it's back over 41,000 from 38,000 lows.
Look at my wife. Look at my wife.
That's good. 5-year hold. Then all the governments around the world and the central banks and the world banks you'll be.
I love you, Mindy Nachsin.
You'll be at zero because they're going to be implementing their digital currency. What do you think about that?
Dude, this is super fun.
So hold on. Again, I'm gonna let you talk for the next 10 minutes, but listen to me. I've noticed that I used to get a link for these crypto groups and shit like that. And he's like, "You're gonna join tonight, man. You're gonna join tonight." And then I've never heard ever since this. There it is. You got the award. You get a rubber banana.
You win.
I'll take anything. I've never won a prize in my life.
Bad way.
So how come I don't get any links anymore for the crypto groups?
Hashtag best hair. Hashtag Chad best hair. All right, I'm done.
Jeez.
All right. Do we have that like a cutoff? Remember the Apollo where the clown used to come out with the hook and hook them off? Remember that show, the Apollo?
The doll.
They used to come out with
Sandman.
Sandman used to we need some shit like digital shit like that for Chad when he gets out of control.
If they only saw my hair at 7:25, I went from like worst dress to best dress. Like if there was a show, I was literally the worst dress. I had the worst hair in the entire state at 7:25, and look what happened. It's amazing, amazing.
All right, so
where are we going with this? Like, take us somewhere. Take us on a ride.
Dude, I took you to crypto, and you're fucking worried about your hair.
Yeah, I got to go make a play. I'm hungry myself, so I'm going off screen in the back. Right.
Put us back to normal.
All right. So, you know what? Now we're talking about crypto. Do you have any take on crypto for fun?
I think you could, like anything else, like trade in volatility and trade in momentum, like I do in day trading. Is that why wouldn't you scalp Bitcoin all day long, or one of the other ones? Like if Bitcoin's going to go down to 36, 37, why are you not buying a whole coin, letting it go back to 41, selling it, letting it drop? I mean, you can make thousands, tens and twenties of thousands of dollars. Like, what's the problem?
Listen, here's the thing. Even though I think it's a great idea to buy Bitcoin right now, right? Don't listen to me. I'm not smart. But if you buy it and you make a lot of money, don't be surprised. How you doing? Like I said, yeah, I think Bitcoin, my opinion, like I said, this is all based on public research, and it's an opinion like an asshole, right? We all have one. So this is an opinion, and I'm a believer. I'm a believer that the cryptocurrency is going to be around long term. I'm just going to tell you straight up where I think there's like 12,000 plus coins, give or take 1,000 coins. Like there's so many coins that are available right now. When I say a coin, like Bitcoin, that's the number one coin, Ethereum. And then there's like thousands, like 12,000 plus other coins. So honestly, in 5 years from now, there's going to be a lot of those coins that are not going to be around anymore. I honestly think that you're going to see a lot of coins, just like a lot of stocks, go bye-bye. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to lose money in crypto, just like stocks. But crypto as a whole, it's a new age, and I mean, I mean, if you don't see it, it's.
I understand that, but what I'm trying to tell you is that if you're buying anything that has a market cap, a market value, why are you not? Why does this have to be a long? So, if you listen to my strategy, right now it's volatile Bitcoin, so there's a lot of big swings.
True statement.
Okay, so what happens is that instead of having $100,000 invested in a portfolio of cryptocurrency, right, spread out all over the place, take $38,000. The next time it's 38,000 or 36,000, or even now 41,000 if it goes to 46. Buy a whole coin. When it moves $3,000-$4,000, sell the whole coin. Because if you do enough of those transactions, right, you pay attention and you make $3,000, $3,000 a clip, the profit can buy you one entire coin to hold long term, and you still have the money to play with the volatility. You follow me? Because you don't have the balls.
Don't listen to anything he's saying.
You don't have the balls, and none of you have the balls to buy a whole Bitcoin right now, right?
Okay.
With your own money. You want to diversify. You want to buy a third of a coin, or you want to buy, $2,000 worth of a coin. And you're every time the thing moves, everybody sits down and says, shit, I should have bought a whole coin.
Right.
Hindsight's 20.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
You're bringing I want to ask you a question. All right, this is great. All right, by the way, he's Emilio, the Philly Italian realtor. He's a hothead. He's a lovable man. He's an amazing person. Don't listen to a goddamn thing he's saying, even though it sounds like it's a great idea.
Why? Why is it not? Why is it not? Who are you going to get financial? So you're telling me there's a licensed fucking crypto financial advisor somewhere right now?
There's no such thing.
There's no such thing. So
would you just say this? Risk anything you're willing to put out there. You have to be willing to lose, right?
Yeah, you got to pay to play, cuz.
You got to be willing to lose every dollar you put in, right?
Dude, listen, nothing's guaranteed.
I'm just kidding. No, I'm with you. I like what you're saying. I just want to make it. There's a good and a bad side.
What I'm saying is that what's the point? Listen, what's the point of not? We're in no position, and they're not funds. They're individual. If you're buying stocks and buy an individual stock and you buy so many shares of it, or you buy an individual crypto and you buy so many coins of them, or bits of coins of them, at some point in time, you have to maximize on the profits. When is enough enough? You've had you should have sold Bitcoin when it was $68,000, right? And you didn't. And now you're hanging onto the bag. You could have bought and sold Bitcoin 50 times since the last time. There were so many ups and downs with that coin, and so many entries and exits that you could have profited way more than you'll ever profit with that $100,000 that you got sitting, and you're going to wait 5 years for it to grow to 250. You give me 41,000. Hold on, how much is a Bitcoin? You give me $41,123 right now. I guarantee you, in a month from now, that I've doubled that money, because I'm trading in and out and taking the profits from it. I don't care about the capital gains. I don't give a shit, because in the end, you're going to have stocks or currency that's going to offset that loss. to an
I'm
extent.
going to give you my take, and you know
Go
what?
ahead.
I appreciate your passion, Paisan, and you know what? I'm going to tell you. Not saying what you're saying is wrong. It's just your strategy, and I'm going to tell you a different approach. Just a different approach. Here we go. I'm all about DCA. You know what that means?
Avi said, "Look how many times I want to list it. Look how many times it went up by $3,000. How many times? How many times do you want me to show you? You want me to pull the chart?"
Right. Well, that's not today, Craig. This week's ranting.
No.
You missed
Craig,
the beginning. Watch the beginning part. Emilio, let me ask you a question. What does DCA mean?
DCA?
Yeah, in the world of investing. You know, when you think of the word DCA, dollar cost average. So here's what we're going to do. My opinion. Listen, this is an opinion. Here we go. Bitcoin in 5 years. Right now we're in 2022. In 2027, in the next 5 years, the question is, where will Bitcoin go? I personally think it's going to be a couple $100,000 within 5 years. I think it's very likely to do that. Now, it's hard to go ahead and buy a Bitcoin for a whole one because it's a lot of money. Like you said, it's like over 40-some thousand right now.
All right, but how many people have $100,000 invested in a crypto portfolio?
Let me finish. If you have $100, $200, whatever the number you could afford, if you just invest it monthly, right? Of course, you could afford to lose it, or you don't invest it. You invest it monthly, whatever the number is, whether Bitcoin's 40,000, 30,000, 50,000, whatever the number it is, you're going to accumulate it. And if you have a long-term vision, you're going to be a winner. Now, Emilio, what you're saying is totally correct. You have a short-term strategy, and to be honest, I'm not smart enough to. I'm going to say I'm smart enough, but I haven't done enough education on the charts, and it's something that intrigues me because you're talking about like short-term day trader stuff, and I'm not going to lie, it's very intriguing. I'm just not that.
Well, Bitcoin is something that has to be monitored.
Now that a question, answer that one.
There is no open and close of a market for Bitcoin. It trades, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Correct?
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of crazy too. Answer John's question.
So you got to remember, John. So you're going to have offsetting. But you're not going to win on anything that everything you do unless you invest in one stock that has. That right now is at a low and it has a chance to go back to close to highs, or a coin that is going to be lucrative. So what you have to do is just list your house.
What would Bill?
Oh, Bill Russell. I'm still waiting for your ex-wife to list her house, Bill.
Hey, wait, Bill, real quick, can you give me a plug for the lending? I'll make sure the funds are there. I even bring it in I'll bring it in the back of my I'll bring a suitcase and everything, whatever. Just work with me here. Oh, wait, hold on. So this is what he's saying. He's basically saying, this is
what I'm saying, that you have to, yes, if you're going to make that, but what's the difference? If you're going to make the money, you got to pay to play. So capital, you'll pay, you're going to have 38% you're going to pay.
Well, it's actually, isn't it ordinary income? Now I'm a tax advisor. This has been such a cool.
Right. Right. So then it becomes, it becomes ordinary income. So at the end of the day, right?
Yep.
You're going to turn in unless you're going to dedicate yourself just to Bitcoin, you can't guarantee your whole entire portfolio of coins are going to make money every day. Like and some of the days that you buy Bitcoin, it might not gain the next day. It might drop even lower. And then if you don't sell off and, cut the loss, you could wait for it to go back up and then either break even and try to re-entry you got to, everything's a stock. Like John, that's like saying, I'm not going to buy a house. Like if I called you up, said, John, I need $200,000. You say, well, I need $200,000. Say, we're going to buy this house for $400,000. We're going to sell for $800,000. You're going to be worried about the capital gains? Or you're going to be chasing that $400,000 profit? It's the same shit. Who gives a shit?
No. You know what, Emilio? I'm going to disagree with you. All right. Here's what I'm going to disagree with you. If you're making $3,000 on a trade, right? Mm-hmm. It's very smart to say, hey, how much of that should I put aside for discipline? So yeah, if you're going to do a trade, and let's make it simple. Let's say you make $1,000. If your ordinary income tax is 38% or 40%, put $400 in an account right away. That's all I'm saying. I think that's smart.
Yeah, and you can also.
Oh my God! Woo, Bill! Woo! I love it, Bill. You're the man, dude. My self-esteem just went up 36%. Thank you, Bill. I'm being totally serious. You're awesome. No, seriously, that was a good question. I love this. Is a great show, by the way. You know why, Emilio? You didn't say what you said wasn't wrong. I'm just sitting here going, damn, I wish I knew how to do what the hell you're saying.
Why though? You have it at your fingertips, right? You can buy a Bitcoin and then you can sell it when it goes up. I mean,
let me just do something real quick. This has been fun tonight, and we're gonna wrap up in about 5 minutes. This is crazy. Can we just do some kind of? All right, I'm gonna ask you one question. Are you ready?
All right, you want an act of kindness?
No, I'm going to ask you. What are you going to say?
I don't know. You want to hear like a kindness story? Is that what you want to do? You want to end the show on like a soft note?
Yeah, it's been hard and it's been great. Can you just tell me something you did?
I'll tell you a kindness story. See, we're gonna have to have a crypto stock thing. I'm gonna have to pull my charts up, and I'm gonna have to show you some day. I'm gonna have to tape the day trading a little bit and show you what's going on.
Listen, whatever. I'm in. Like, this is fun. You and I will have. We don't always have to agree. We can agree to disagree, and I might be wrong. You might be wrong.
No, you're not wrong. Like I said, they're just two different strategies. I'm just saying.
Maybe both are good. I mean, I want to learn more.
Sometimes when money's tight, or the jobs aren't, they're not ready to be completed and get paid, or the real estate market is not, you're not getting your deals accepted, or it's a little bit slow, then maybe there's some money to be made in the markets, and it's for short-term gain. And that's where my strategy comes in. And I get it. You want a portfolio and different things like that. And that's something else we'll talk about on another Be High show. But
give me a soft story.
So I got this couple, right?
Yes.
And there was a Zillow phone call for my, I'm a premier agent in 19007, which is Bristol and Bristol Barrow. And Bristol Barrow is a hot area right now because they have Mill Street, Pond Street, Radcliffe. It's like,
shout out to Bristol.
It's a historic area, and it's getting a lot of gentrification, and a lot of things are switching over, and it's just popping. So I got this couple. I get this Zillow call like in November, and this guy Mark and his wife to be Leah, they're getting married. They want to buy a house, so we meet out. We meet out at a house, and I give them the spiel. Look, it's I know the first house might not be the house, but we got to look and put eyes on every house. The only way you're going to figure it out. When you figure it out, you'll know it. You'll call me, and that'll be it. You're not going to need me to push it on you. So November goes by, we look at a bunch of houses. December goes by, we look at a bunch of houses. We're just looking at houses, and then they start getting comfortable. They want to start putting offers in. Now they start putting offers in, and every offer is, in the beginning, they were a little weak. So I get it. They didn't get the house. I kind of knew it. Then as they got along, they started trusting me, listening to me. They started putting in aggressive offers. They're still not getting their houses. So this month of March, we looked at 2 houses, and the first 2 houses, they put offers on both houses. They had one realtor who never even called me back, never did anything, didn't, whatever. They didn't get the house, obviously. The second realtor was fantastic, very professional, very, very communicative. Everything went down. They had the house, and he calls me up, and he's like, dude, you're not going to believe it. He's like, I'm not bullshit. You were getting the house. He's like, but he emails me and shows me, the number. He doesn't show me the whole deal, blah, blah. And he's like, you believe this? And I'm like, wow. So I call the clients up. I'm like, Mark, listen, you did everything you could. You wrote a fantastic offer. There's nothing else you can do. I'm not mad. Trust me. There's nothing more you could do. And he's happy. He's cool. He's like, Emilio, I appreciate it. It sucks we didn't get the house. Now we go look at a house. I'm with another client on Monday night. So I'm going to tell you how this goes down. Monday night, 5:30, I get a phone call to meet a client at a house. Now, this house has been on the market for 3 days. They had an open house on a Sunday. So I'm like, all right, let me see if I can get us in, because I'm thinking, all offers are due. It was such a nice house that I figured there's no way that there. So I could book a showing. Right? I'm like, shit, let's go. We'll go 5:30. I meet the new client there at the house. Right. The owner of the house is, an older woman. She's been there for 30 years. Her husband just died. She is there for all the showings. She sits on the porch when people come over. She's out there with a cup of coffee. I introduce myself. I give her my card. She doesn't say anything to me. I walk in the house with a new client. As soon as I walk in the house, I'm like, holy shit. Like, this is a nice, the street line, the street has tree lines on it. Every house is manicured. This house is beautiful. Brand new kitchen, but like a homey, nice farmy kitchen, not all this new modern shit. Really nice. Hardwood floors, cute, quaint, beautiful house. What do? Start talking to the other client. To be fair, she's like, look, I just started. I want to get to know you. I want to get going with this. I'm very, and then boom, you know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, I know she might not be putting an offer on this house. I'm texting Mark, where are you? You need to get over here right now and see this house. This is the house. He's like, I just left work. I could be there at 6 o'clock.
That's your time.
I go back outside, tell the lady, I don't even have a showing at this point, an appointment. I was like, listen, do you mind if we stay? I have another couple. They're very interested. They're going to buy this. I tell her, I said, they're going to buy this house. You watch. She goes, yeah, no problem. I go back outside, facilitate, wrap up the rest of the conversation with the client, get her in touch and on the right road where she needs to be. Boom. I secure that. Mark shows up with Lee, his wife, right? I go up there. I send them in the house. Now I stay out on the porch with the old lady, the owner. I got to work my magic. And remember, I give her my card in the beginning. I don't say a word to her except for how you doing.
Did you have the faux hawk when you were there?
I had the faux hawk. So I come back out. Okay. I come back outside. And I'm like,
Judy at Florida, real quick. Hold on. Love you. You're amazing. Florida's a hot market, and I'm getting licensed in Florida. So make sure you tell all your friends and family. Emilio, continue. God bless you, Judy. Do I look good in yellow? Anyway, continue. Thanks.
So,
you're going back to the family. You brought them back over. Mark's at the house. You know they're going to buy the house. Boom. Go in.
All right, hold on. I got a text message.
Look at that. I'm going to juggle real quick because I can do that. All right. So I know this is going to, you're going to bring out the kindness.
So I'm sitting outside talking to the old lady, right? And she turns around to me and she's like, DiCicco. And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, do you have a cousin so-and-so? And I'm like, yeah. I was like, it's my dad's second cousin. And, I was like, I remember seeing him a lot when I was younger, but my father passed away. She's like, yeah, I think I know your father. I think I remember him. And she's like, I worked with, his cousin for 28 years. I said, listen to me. I go, what's your name? She says, Ruth. So Ruth, let me explain something. You see these kids in here? I said, they got the money. They got the jobs. They got everything they need, and they can't get a fair shake. Everybody just keeps ignoring these people. And I feel so bad for them. I'm telling you right now, I'm bringing an offer to you. When you see that offer, every offer that you see come over from your realtor, I want you to ask her who the realtor is. When you hear my name, I want you to pull that deal aside and say, I want you to focus on this deal and let me know how good it is and how strong it is. She goes, I will absolutely do that. The kids come out. When I say kids, these are early 30s. So they come out, they start talking to her. He turns around and he says, the office, the listing broker was a guy, an older guy that he used to mentor this kid, and he used to talk to him, and they had multiple conversations. So he recognized that. I said, listen, you need to get on the phone with him and let him know that you're putting an offer in on this house. So from reaching out, okay, and making the connections, I start talking to the lady again, right? And she says, I want to tell you something. She says, she obviously, I'm young to her. She goes, I haven't had a young man.
Ruth, right?
What's that, Ruth? She goes, I haven't had a young man like you, take the time out to actually ask me. Because I asked her, where she goes, I'm going to move. My husband died. My daughter's having some issues here in the borough with an ex-husband. We want to move. My sister lives in South Carolina. We want to move there. So I start to talk to her. We start to talk about life and different things. She says, people have lost like the ability to communicate in this day and age. And she's like, I'm old school and I love all my neighbors. I'm going to miss them the most from sitting out on these porches and having coffee and seeing the kids grow up. And she's like, and here you are, you take the time out. I happen to know your cousin, but I don't know you. You take the time out to talk to me, to explain to me a situation, because I have never sold a house. My husband, this is my second house, and my husband has always been involved in the dealings and different things. And I was along for the ride. And she's like, you asked me to pull that offer aside and give these kids a chance. And then you're so well spoken and down to earth. And she's like, you made my day. Like I was kind of sad that I was going to sell my house and move, even though I know I have to do it, and she's like, you made that comfortable for me, and thank you. And I'm thinking to myself, like, all right, well, part of this was, I'm going to be real. Part of this was I wanted these kids to get a fair shake, and I wanted somebody to hear my my story so I could, lay it on the line. But the other part of me, like I enjoyed, there was a good aura and a good feeling about being there with this lady and having this conversation. Like I felt like I knew her. I was comfortable. Sure enough. And I talked to the listing agent and she was kind of dry, she wasn't very open about it and different things like that. So I was kind of, I didn't feel like
she wasn't Ruth.
She wasn't Ruth, but I just felt like, she was being pestered because there was a lot of offers on the house and I didn't want to be that guy. So lo and behold, at 5:00 last night, I get a phone call and she says, I know your cousin too, the listing agent. And she's like, Ruth told me the story. And she's like, I talked to the lender, which this guy works for the bank. The client is in the banking industry. And she's like, I feel comfortable. And Ruth really feels comfortable. And she wants to give your clients that fair shake. And she's like, I'm going to tell you this. She's like, I even feel that what she told me about you, that I think that they should get the fair shake. And you're not even highest and best. She's like, but I'm not going to play games. Your offer is still strong. And we're going to sign off on that offer. So back to the Be Kind show. Sometimes, like I said, and I've talked about this a lot on this show, extending that act of kindness sometimes to talk to somebody or lend your ear to somebody because you never know what they're going through. This lady was taking all of her memories. Now her house was, she collected like Hummels, like the little figurines. Her whole house was in these cases. They were beautiful on the wall and everything. So she had her husband pass away, her daughter get divorced and having issues with the husband there in the borough, her getting older in life. And, she's going to trade those memories here in that house, in that beautiful house. And she's going to put herself in South Carolina with her sister and continue her life there. But at the same time, she gifted this couple, Mark and Leah, a chance. They're going to be their first house. They'll be married by the time after they move in there, and they're going to raise a family there. And that all happened because everybody took the time to communicate, have a conversation, and actually, give a damn about what's going on in somebody else's life. And that is what the world should be about. And that's what most people should be about, because you never know how you're going to affect somebody. And I truly believe that, taking the time out to talk to this woman, Ruth, and, go about some history with her knowing my cousin and me talking to her about losing my father and her losing her husband and telling her how beautiful her house was, because it was, and it is the nicest house these people have looked at. We looked at 30 houses. It worked out. Patience is a virtue. And that's to end the show, that's the kind story that happened. Like, yeah, of course there's business involved.
Thank you, Vicky.
Yeah, there's definitely business involved. And that's what we do. And we have to go to work and make money, but there's also a way of going about and conducting your business. And I feel like that, I enjoyed my time there and it all worked out in the end. And I'm glad it did.
You know what? That's a great story. I'm happy Ruth decided to go with the kids. That's a great, seriously, Emilio, thank you for sharing. Because this hour, it's funny. We started off, thanking Cutting Edge Entertainment for their sponsorship. I don't know if they might pull sponsorship after this show, but that's whatever. It's no, we have a sponsorship. And then we're talking about air fryers, and then we get into crypto, and you and I are ranting back and forth. But I'm so curious about your strategy.
And we even changed the show's name. Like every so it's going to be 3 shows of the Be Kind show, and we're going to do a Be High show like this, where it's just me and Chad talking like we smoked like 4 pounds of marijuana.
All right, there you go. Sold.
And there it is.
All right. I can't run for president now, you son of a. Okay. So anyway, we went from air fryers, and then somehow Emilio decides to pull it all together with a kind story. So honestly, this has been a blast. We're going to be back next week with a special guest. And Emilio, I cherish my time. Thank you, Pat. I cherish my time with you each week. I really consider you one of my best friends. I mean, it's amazing. Jen, you're badass. I'll take anything in that air fryer. And Emilio, I'm going to see you tomorrow at my special event that I'm teaching some pretty cool tricks. You know that, right?
Nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know how I always end my shows. Now on the Be High show, I'm going to do it a little different. So on the Be High show, I'm going to say this: eat cookies, eat cake. Have a great night. God bless you all.
And get the munchies.